So where is this trip taking me? It's taking me up to Montana for Adventure Van Expo in Bozeman. I may have been in Bozeman when I was a kid, traveling with my parents, but I don't think I've been back to Montana since, I don't know, I was a child anyway. But crossing into Utah, which is always nice, and very smoky out there. The Grand Valley and all of this area out here north of Moab is smoky somewhere. Some fire. So we're going up to Bozeman, but we're taking back routes because, you know, Google Maps says take I-15. Well, I had kind of a lot of I-15 and would like to try some places in the mountains. So we're going to start off with the Uinta Mountains, that's east of Salt Lake, and then we're going north from there into western Wyoming, and maybe stop in Jackson, not sure, and then cross over into Idaho, go up to West Yellowstone, and up through the Gravelly Range or something, Gavelton Range, and anyway. Gonna go running around through those mountains and you know, see what kind of what's there. So I'm pretty excited about the Uinta Mountains because it looks like where we're going is a bunch of lakes. Now planning that out wasn't easy because there really aren't any back roads going through the mountains to the other side, you know, for a journey type thing with overlanding. It's more like you got to take one of the two state highways, or actually one's a federal highway, and I think we're going to be on that. And north of Vernal, Utah, there is a state highway. And that's your choice. Now there's some, you know, out and back in the mountains, but a lot of the mountains seem to be wilderness. So we can't drive around there. Can't fly the drone there. So let's go see what's there in the Uinta Mountains, and this is going to be on pavement in the beginning. I'm pretty sure we're going to be on dirt later on in the trip, but this is a Monday morning, and I think that you know, I'll be in Bozeman by maybe Thursday evening, Friday morning, and then we can get into the event after 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon. So. And the reason we're doing this event is because we had so much fun at Evergreen. Well, not we, it's just me. Katya can't go. She's got some work to do. Unfortunately, because when Katya's there, it's always better. I know. So, we're starting out on this, I think it's North Fork Road. Take a look. Something like this. It's not easy. Oh, West Side Strawberry Road is what it's on Gaia. But there were some signs back there saying North Fork Road, so I'm not sure which is which. Anyway, it's supposed to be private property on both sides. Stay out. No trespassing signs. Kind of pretty here. So it was, you know, an okay drive to Green River area, and then up to Price was pretty much all like Green River. It's just that kind of desolate terrain out there. We like it. Good views of the Santa Cruz Swell in the distance. But now we're at 7,400 feet, and it's cooler, only 81 degrees. It beats the usual 90 something. And the road's got some potholes, but you know, nothing much. But it's pretty here. I do like this kind of dry, high desert terrain. You don't have all those pesky trees getting in the way of the view. But it looks like there's a bunch of dead aspens up there on the ridge, and that's common everywhere in the region. I don't know what happened, but something killed a bunch of them. Probably bugs. Okay, no camping. Hunting or shooting, fishing, trapping, parking or digging, travel off main roads, snowmobiling off main road, private property, both sides of the road, the next 2 miles. Oh, you think they mean it? Probably. But there's like nobody around here so far. There's a nice little creek that probably has fish in it. But these folks don't want us to do anything there. There are roads going off with gates on them. But it's pretty up here. This is a really nice drive. It's easy other than the pavement's full of chuck holes, broken pieces and stuff. And there's beaver dams all over. So this is active beaver country. And that's pretty cool. I like beavers. So I'm not sure if we're in private property or on federal land now. Onyx would tell me, but I'd have to probably download the map tiles. So there's some vehicles here that look like they're RVs and not ranchers. And it's beginning to look more like Forest Service country to me. Yeah, there's Forest Service road numbers. Cool. Really nice through here. Wildfire leftovers coming up though, unfortunately. But it's been a lot of wildflowers. Off to the right there, they're going by. Without Katya here, it's really hard for me to shoot them because there hasn't been hardly any place to pull over where I could get out and go do it. But they're there. They're all over the place. Really pretty. There have been a few dispersed campers. I don't know if maybe hunting season's starting, or they just leave these big fifth wheels and stuff up here in the middle of nowhere as cabins for the summer. It's a 14-day camping limit, but not everybody cares. But pretty here. Yep, here's the wildfire damage. Big view out there. Unfortunately, the wildfire opened it up for us so we can see. At the same time, it looks kind of ugly. But up on a ridge, and I think there's a pass coming up. We'll be dropping over a pass and into something else. Typical of the high country around here, Utah. I haven't seen anybody on the road yet. Hey, it's a long way down. We're at about 8,500 feet here. Wow. Big out there. So, ahead of us in the distance, far distance, taller mountains, that might be the Wasatch Range over there. So the road's kind of rutted in places. Hasn't been maintained for a while. There isn't much evidence it gets maintained at all. But anyway, it's mostly like 10 miles an hour. And now we're up at this pass. And the road goes both directions. And I think we're gonna go left. Yeah. And I think there was a road going down there, which it looks like they've blocked that off for whatever reason. So after we're in the purple thistles, aspens, we're continuing to climb. No steep grades here, just you know, continuous, bouncing along. It's pretty. It's our elevation. Yeah, we're about 9,000 feet. Okay. We're up on this ridge. It seems like we should see some elk, deer, something besides chipmunks. Just stop here for a second and look out. So that's the direction we're going. You can see the road in the distance. And still there's nobody around. A few RVs, all big fifth wheels. Wouldn't be much fun towing it back here, so imagine they leave it for a while. Yeah, off to my right, where this little road in front of us goes, there's a big bunch of RVs back in the trees. This guy's got his out here on the with a big view. So there aren't many dispersed sites up here, and what there is has RVs permanently or semi-permanently parked in them. Well, whatever these yellow blossoms are on these bushes, there's a lot of them here. Now ahead of us is a lake. What's the name of the lake? Bear Reservoir or something? Nope, Strawberry Reservoir. So I don't usually memorize everything as I go along planning these things out. Just like figure it out when I get there. But yeah, Strawberry Reservoir. So they've got a marina, and I'm sure much better access than this. And there's a campground. It's only 2:45. It seems a little early for me to camp. But I have been driving most of the day. So we'll see when we get down there. If it's particularly attractive, and just like a cool place I want to hang out, yeah, then I'll go to the campground. But I think what a lot of these guys with the RVs are doing up here, they're just squatting on the land for the summer. That's their summer cabin. And I guess the Forest Service isn't really enforcing the 14-day limit. But they're all abandoned. There's no vehicles. So whoever it is goes into Salt Lake or somewhere, goes to work. It comes out on the weekends. Pavement next to the lake. There's a campground. There's a boat launch off to my left, off to the right that is. There's actually people and cars, but the lake's beautiful. There's a lot of them. Let me show you. They're crawling all over the place up there. Ah! Oops. Sheepdog doesn't want me around the sheep. Okay. Big campground here. We're going into the marina area here at Strawberry Reservoir. This is the largest marina, it looks like, from what I can tell. And there's a bunch of campgrounds. There's actually a boat. Wow. So over there is actually, it looks like a marina that's, you know, a real harbor-like type setup. There are a lot of loops of campsites here. Capacity's huge. Probably because like it's only 81 degrees here, and people probably come up here to escape the heat down below. And Salt Lake, that whole area. So yeah, there's boats, lots of boats. And there's a lodge or something here. Might have to check it out. Strawberry Bay Marina. Okay, I'll park. Check it out. You know, it's nice here. The nice little marina back here. Water ski boats primarily. Some fishing. I guess I just got so spoiled in Prince William Sound in Alaska that it's hard to get me excited about a lot of these places that might be very exciting to my viewers, but when you're used to hanging out in Prince William Sound south of Anchorage with the fjords and the glaciers and 16,000 foot peaks, 13,000 that is, coming right up from where you're anchored in a little cove. From that's, you know, obviously at sea level, it's 13,000 straight up. Big glaciers hanging on the side of the peaks, and of course the whales, the otters, you know, all kinds of different whales, otters, sea otters, river otters, bears, salmon, halibut, big shrimp. You know, I mean, there's so much going on. Bald eagles, of course. There's so much going on there. Well, we're headed up into the mountains, and yeah, that's what I like. The road is you know, well maintained, but I just hit my first washboard on this trip. But before this, when I was down more in the flats, I was going like 40 miles an hour. It was really nice. Okay, that road's blocked off. So it's not to the point where I need to air down, because right now it's just really smooth and nice. And then every once in a while you can run a corner and there's a bunch of washboards like right here. But then it usually mellows pretty quick, like it just did. So, not worth the trouble to air down. So every big scene that I find up here, it's RVs, big RVs. Like out there to the right, you'll see a forest fire in the distance. There's a huge encampment, and like everywhere I see where you can do dispersed camping, it's already taken by the squatters. There's nobody around. They're not camping there. They're just parking and using it as a weekend cabin. And leaving nothing for those of us who travel. Okay, little washboard there. Sheep everywhere. Hi guys. Shepherd's trailer behind me. Don't get too close or I'll have lamb chops tonight. Oh, little tiny guy. He's so cute. Ah, that's fine. Finally, some kind of animals, livestock is not the same as wildlife, but they are amusing. So I just bailed off my planned route. I was going to run along some more ridges. I'm bored up here. And seeing all of these huge RVs taking almost every dispersed campsite, it's just not my kind of place. Also, nobody waves at anybody when you're passing them. really weird in America, in the West anyway, in these dirt roads. So you see ahead of you some pointy mountains, along with a very large barbecue. That's where I'm really interested in going. There's supposed to be some lakes up there, and that could be pretty. So I'm just coming down to a better road system where I can make some time and get out of this area. You know, this is part of overlanding. You're going to go to places that you're just not that excited about, and you're going to want to move on to something you're more excited about, and that's what I'm doing. So this terrain may, you know, lots of this terrain up here may appeal to you, and that's fine. But good luck finding a campsite. Even down these side roads, I look down and there's just an infestation of huge RVs. And they're just squatting there. See, here comes another camp. Sometimes I think, oh, there's just one. And then behind the hill and ridge, there's like 6. Okay, this time I think there's just one. But, you know, that might have been, you know, it could have been a good dispersed camping site. Somebody traveling through. But, and those folks are probably camping. They have a pickup there. But so many are obviously squatting. They've wrapped it up for the week. They're going to come back on the weekends. This part's kind of pretty, though. It'd be nice to have wildflowers, but hey, almost mid-August, so can't hope for too much. But when it's not all burned and dead, it's not bad. This is some pass. And I guess it just, they have all the rules here. Heber Camas Ranger District, Forest, pack it in, pack it out, map. Okay, so I think this is Soapstone Pass. Well, it's finally pretty. Just as we approach State Route 150, and I'm going to head to east and north. So we have a river here of some kind. Oh, nice little creek. That's special. So let's go check out this canyon. It's kind of nice to be out of that high ridges and burned trees and everything, and down here where it's quite nice. There's some cabins around. Uh-oh, one of those behemoths right there. 5:17 in the afternoon. I've been driving since I was 9 o'clock this morning. I'm tired, and there's a campground here. So, fee area. I'll grab a little folder and see if I can find something. Good morning, Overlanders. Okay, yesterday's drive was okay. I mean, it is somewhat nice up those mountains, but you know, I think the spring would be better, or early summer with the wildflowers. It'd be much better than August. So I have a camp up here. You can see the mountains a bit. Those are 12,000 foot peaks around here behind the van, and a little lake down there called Trail Lake. I'm not sure you can see it through the trees, but I have a bit of a view of that. And then this expansive view out this direction. So this is a campground, Trail Lake campground, and it's just got some really cool sights. Like, look at this one right here. You can park on that and then you know, have this big view. And there was nobody else up here. There's a small loop that I've got here, and there's nobody up here at all. Down on the main campground, closer to the lake, yeah, the fishermen and so forth, they're down there. But up here, it was quiet. I didn't even put the window covers up. It was very private.
I've been away for far too long, but now I'm on my way back home. I hear the west winds calling out my name. They're telling me to head your way, down your road and past your gates. Keep your eyes on the horizon. I was looking to belong when I'd already found my home. Won't be long, I'm there before the setting sun, for you to fall into my arms, the place I call my home. I was looking to belong when I already found my home. To belong when I'd already known that you would be there when the rains are gone. Like a light in the night, you will always be my home.
Well, there's some big mountains around here. 12,000 feet high. We're at 10,186 right now. So pretty good elevation. There's a beautiful pass back there, but unfortunately I had to go through the construction with a pilot car and couldn't pull over and show you guys how beautiful it is. But, you know, Utah does a great job of maintaining their highways. Okay, we dropped down to about 9,000 feet. So we're in the Aspens, which is much nicer than a bunch of dead spruce. And now we have, you know, the best wildlife around here so far has been sheep. I've seen a few grouse, but the sheep are kind of fun. So we're still in Utah, below the Wyoming border, and we'll be crossing over into Wyoming. It's a Wyoming license plate in front of us. So people in this area know how to deal with sheep. I had a little black Volkswagen when I was a ski bum, and it's up at Sun Valley, Idaho ski area, heading towards it. And there's a massive number of sheep were just like going along the road. And in the middle of it was this little black Volkswagen kind of like nudging my way forward. It would have looked great from the drone, just great. Come on, Mom, bring your kid across. It's okay. Oh, look at these guys. They're all over here. This is a lot of sheep. And they're all up here in the forest to my left. Here, let me show you guys. See, they're up there in the forest. They're all over the place. So, kind of fun, something different. I did see a couple of grouse beside the road. I was sure that if I stopped to do a little photography with them, they would fly away. Okay, I'm going to go a little farther forward here, guys, because I'd kind of like to get going. Oh, look at the little guys. They're so cute. Really slow. Okay. Look how cute they are. Just want to hug them. They're all so furry. Okay, big migration behind us. She wants to own the road. Fine with me. So that's wild and crazy excitement here in the Uinta Mountains.